Hello, my friends. How you doing? Or should I say, hello to the probably like 3 people that's left watching FIFA videos. Warzone 2 is out. So I would imagine that quite a significant number of you have forgotten what FIFA 23 is and have, for a few days at least, are going to be absolutely no life in Warzone 2. I don't blame you. I'm probably going to be doing a little bit of the same thing. You'll still get your daily uploads of FIFA, of course, but I will probably be trying to play a little bit of Warzone as well, because I am a fan. If you do enjoy today's video, though, do me a favour and smash the thumbs up button. We're going to be discussing the latest changes on FUT and how that affects me and my gameplay and all of that type of stuff, whilst we also unlock, well, as you can see here, I've got like a bunch of English players from the World Cup mode card design in my squad. It means that we're going to head out and we're going to get the all of the tokens today from online anyway. So what I think I've realised is that, so I've spent 3, right? I spent 3 tokens on the 82 times 20. And then after I'm done with all of these online ones, I'll have 8. And then there's also 2 more within squad battles or rivals that I could do. So I'm guessing, I think there was 13 up for grabs at the moment. So I'll be able to have 10 real soon. Maybe even by like the next couple of days worth of episodes, because I'll do a lot of it off camera if it's squad battles. But I might have enough to have the 10 tokens to get the 84 times 20. And then you never know if that's going to lead us on to having enough fodder to help with like the Icon SBC or maybe Franck Ribéry or whatever we decide to do. So, yeah, there's options there, isn't there? So I do love a good sort of swaps promo because, one, it does make you play the game a bit more in different areas that you wouldn't necessarily play. And as stressful as I found some of the games in this friendly mode, you know, people quitting at 0-0 or hitting the post and then having a goal disallowed and then hitting the bar and then they run up the other end and get the golden goal. And you're just like, I was dominating that. It can get a little bit frustrating. I found Senegal to be probably the worst for me. I think Senegal and Wales, actually, because I had some spells where I could not get wins. I was on a bad spell. But yeah, a lot of the other ones I did get done in more wins than losses to get the token done. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'll do a little tally up of all of the tokens once we've unlocked them, and we'll get the mini packs to open in between as well. And what I didn't realise is that actually the packs that I just have been randomly opened from other objectives and stuff have given me enough to probably get about another 10 of those 75+ player picks done, which is quite good. We get ourselves a Memphis Depay here. I will certainly be using him in my final squad of the day, which is going to be the Netherlands. I thought I'd save a slightly easier one till last. There was this one, the Senegalese guys. Oh my God. I know I'm only showing you one game with 1 goal, but there was a long old time. There was actually a whole night's sleep in between me getting probably this win and then the next one, because I rage quit off the game for the night after playing with it, probably losing like 4 or 5 in a row, and was just like mega fuming. So I just got off the game and thought, hey, we'll go again tomorrow. We'll see if it's any better. And it certainly was. I think I literally started with like 3 wins in a row or something. So yeah, and I didn't have a single team where I went 6-0, even with like England, which I think is probably one of the strongest. I did lose a couple there, and yeah, it's always going to happen, isn't it? But thank goodness it's a golden goal mode, because when people play on after you go 1-0 up in these, and it was always that gentleman's agreement, wasn't it, of like, you know, 1-0 and you quit and you move on. I'm glad that the game just sort of stops for you, because sometimes there's a little bit of motivation there. Like, you know, if I said, like, if it was one of those games where I'd hit the post, hit the bar, and all of that stuff, and then they run down the other end and score the goal, you'll be like, no, I deserve this win. I'm going to carry on and get it. So, yeah, I'm kind of glad that isn't a thing, because I probably would have stayed in a few more games. But we're up to 331 players, so quite close to getting level 7. We will get that done probably in today's episode, just from the random little essentials packs that we get given. I swap it over now to Iran. I didn't have that many great players from this nation either, so luckily I was using and abusing Favre, Payet, and Al Omar Owaran. I've forgotten his name already. Saeed. I'm sorry, I just forget. I forget my hero's name. And was it probably the worst ever lasty take when I got him in that World Cup hero pack and was like, oh no, for that very first instance before we realised he's actually god tier. But with the new sort of like patch and meta and stuff that we will discuss throughout this video, with lengthy players being like less useful, or more importantly, like controlled and explosive players being more useful, he's shot up to nearly 700,000 coins. People, even the pros, are saying Al Awairan is just like genuinely one of the best players on the game. It's like having an Mbappe, but always on full chemistry in your squad. So it's quite a good thing, I guess. In the background here on my other screen, I've got a squad battles game currently going, where I'm using some of those Spanish players. I'm 2-0 down to the computer. It doesn't matter. I don't have to win. I just need to play the games. So I'll let that one run as the video goes on, and we'll get another one of them done. And it means that I haven't had to focus on it. But anyhow, we move on. What have we just got done there? I guess, was that getting the Iran one done, or was it the next nation? Oh, that was Wales. So that took me a little bit of time. I think with the Welsh squad, or was it the USA squad? No, I think it was the Welsh. I think I lost 7 games in a row. But during that, I also had 2 in a row people leave at 0-0. You know, when I get through on goal, they gave a penalty, not a penalty, just a free kick away, and they pause and quit. Absolutely crazy how some people are that petty. But it is what it is, right? You know, that is that is modern day gamer for you. Anyway. On to the USA now. I think I left it with, was it like USA and then Netherlands? We didn't have the greatest squad again here, but at least some of the stats on some of those defenders were okay. We did have Pulisic as well, but again, it was. I don't know if there was a single game where I actually scored with the player from that nation. It was all about just like getting the ball to Elo Iran and the 2 French boys and being like, yep. Just use your lengthiness and skill. And actually, a lot of these games I was playing after the patch, so the lengthy stuff didn't really matter so much. I was wondering why Saeed felt so good. I think it's because he's just like, that is the current new meta, isn't it? So let's sort of talk about it a little bit. So essentially, I think it was a random sort of one-liner within the pitch notes of or when the patch went up. And it was something to do with like certain players when they were on the ball weren't as quick as they were intended to be, or something like that. So essentially, lengthy players have been very, very good. I don't think they've been tuned down, but I think there are other players that have now been sort of like tuned up a little bit. So apparently, explosive players are now quite good. If that's the case, you bet your life I will be absolutely willing to try someone like Vinicius Jr. or something at this point, because I have been. As much as I've been abusing the lengthy meta, and I tweeted this as well, as much as I've been abusing that, I'd absolutely love it if there was some sort of meta change and it like techie, skilly dribblers were like a good thing again. I would really like that. So yeah, it's something that I'm on board with, to be fair, and it just means that people like Payet will be sold. Favre, if it's Favre's final games for the club, because he's no longer that useful, although on controlled, you know, he's probably still very good because he's quite quick anyway. But yeah, it's some of those players like I imagine like Peter Crouch, because he was quite usable, being even quite a slow card. But because you can make him lengthy, his long legs would just keep running and running and running. He might not be quite so good anymore because he's got that low pace. And if there are, you know, some players will just feel quicker and stuff. People are saying that Van Dijk's not as good anymore because there's quite a difference in his sprint speed and acceleration. People are running past Van Dijk, and that to me seems crazy because he's been like the brick wall of this game for the last month or two. But then on the flip side, in a positive for me in my club, I've got Cordoba, who was never able to be lengthy, but he's very fast and he's controlled. So I reckon my Cordoba's just sort of gone up in stonks. In fact, I know he has, because he was 300k and he's now way into the 400. So I think people are rating players like that now. And I also said the other day that I was quite interested, well, and obviously we're very interested in getting Rafael Leao's Player of the Month because we did him. But, you know, also Frank Ribery then came out and, well, he's not lengthy. He's like explosive, you know, as expected. But now, I did say at the time, you know what, I probably would prefer just to use Leao because Ribery's not lengthy. What's the point? But now I reckon that Frank Ribery is absolutely ridiculous. I reckon with the current switch in what's good on this game, I bet Ribery plays absolutely insanely good. Like, there's no doubt he would have been pretty good anyway, but I reckon he's just like top tier now with that 5-star. Maybe even Neymar's really good now as well. If so, I'll have some cash. I'll splash some cash, and we'll bring in some cool players for our weekend league run and stuff. So with every day, you know, as I do every day, I'll do the current SBCs. I also managed, like I said, to whip out 10 more of these rare goal player picks, and we'll see what we can get from them, shall we? We get an 81 in the first one, then 78. Okay, we need to upgrade this a little bit, Tom. 83, double 83s. All right, that's not bad. We'll take Rafinha. Pick number 4. We'll just take the 82 there because we've already got the 83 goalkeeper in the club. I don't want a duplicate untradeable. That's an L right there. 78 is definitely an L. And then for the second batch of 5, we get an 84 in Perisic. I'll certainly take that. That would be useful for an SBC. Probably will go into that new 84 plus SBC that came out last night. And then we get an Ibra. We get a Calabria. 2 to go. We get anything good? World Cup hero? Simeone or Alvarez? I just chose the first one. And then Upamecano instead of Chilwell for that one. So a really bad batch. 184 and 183. Oh my god, that was a really bad batch. So yeah, I'm not super confident to do another batch of them, I'll be honest. Excuse me. So, my current team is probably going to be adapted. Now, it was around this sort of time when I was on the screen here that people were starting to say lengthy's done, you know, the market's going to change with certain players. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to sell Zambrotta because he'd just gone up. He was about 30 or 40k down on what I paid for him after I finished the weekend league, but he's gone back up to just above what I paid for him, and I didn't notice like a crazy difference. He was quite good, but I'd rather have the money for him at the moment. So I listed him up and then just put Cuadrado in. For now, that will work just fine. Let me go on in to the one and only Rivals match you're going to see today. So I know it's Rivals Rewards Day. That really crept up on me like way too quickly. And with all the other stuff that's been there this week, this game was like I lost one before this, so I lose my hot streak, by the way. But I win this game, and it's like my 3rd win of the week. So I'm going to get the lesser rewards for this week, simply because like there was other stuff I had to do, and there's so many objectives and stuff that I was focusing on that it just got to the point where Thursday came around and I hadn't got as many Rivals wins. And I'll be honest, it didn't seem like it was that big of a deal. We're only in like Div 5. The rewards aren't going to be great either way. So yeah, for this week, screw it. I'll make sure I get them done next week, don't worry. But yeah, we're only going to get the 3 wins in Rivals this week, and we will still be in Div 5. So we've got to remember that towards the end of the season, I reckon I'm going to be quite far off that 90 wins now because we haven't played loads of games in week 1. But I'll catch up. Don't you worry. We'll get the 90 wins. We'll get the 90 win milestones at the end of the season for sure. So yeah, I mean, with Zambrotta going, that was purely a financial decision, but Payet going is because, well, he's probably not as, he's still very good, I'm sure, but he's not as OP as he once was. Crouch, I think, will probably be quite poor compared to compared to what he once was as well. I never really enjoyed that card, to be fair, and I think there's probably a reason why he's that price. Just not that good. I can finally change the chem styles on people like Theo Hernandez and Rafael Leao. I can put the ones that I want onto them now, rather than the ones which just about make them lengthy, which would have made them OP in the past. So yeah, we've now got like a left back that can defend. We've now got a winger that can actually shoot and dribble. So that's interesting. We're up to 454,000 coins after Zambrotta, Crouch, and Payet have sold. And we've got some gaps in the squad now, haven't we? I'll fill those tomorrow. We'll go on our Foot Champs quali run, and I'll be back then. If you could do me a favour and smash the thumbs up button, that'd be amazing. 4,000 likes would be outstanding. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. Cheers. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, social media. Links are down below. Have a good one, guys and girls. I'll be back again tomorrow. Peace.